Garrett, what about solar? So it's important to understand about solar. Unfortunately, with net metering 3.0 right now, it's taken what was a good investment of, 5 to 7 year payback, and it's now elongated that return on investment to over 20 years, which to me is ridiculous. But even then, I still like solar under certain circumstances. So imagine you're a family of five in your house and you got a pool pump, you got double freezers in the garage, you got three daughters that are running electricity nonstop off the hook, you got your son up in the bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning Bitcoin mining. I say jokingly, guess what? You're going to need solar no matter what. But the average person, if you fix the waste on the front end, if you keep the radiant heat out so you're not heating up the attic, so it's not coming into your house, so you're not cycling your air conditioner, which is kicking you at peak load rate, well, now you're saving 44% off your bill. Most people don't need solar, but if you do, now you put on 5 panels, you didn't put on 20.
It makes a lot of sense, Garrett. It's kind of that reduce
before
you produce scenario, correct?
Exactly.
Well, let's take a moment. Tell us a bit about this NASA technology and how it makes a difference in homes and the comfort and dramatically reducing utility bills.
Well, NASA is so amazing. I'm such a fan. If people realized how much technology they use in their life that was originally invented under the harsh extremes of space, everything from LASIK technology to, you've heard of Tempur-Pedic mattresses, which was the foam that was on the seats to protect the astronauts, to radar. I mean, there's so many things that NASA has developed that's now private sector. Well, nothing more important than the reflective insulation that was wrapped around the spacecraft and spacesuit. So NASA had a huge problem. So when they looked at insulating in space, they realized, well, I can't use regular R-value insulation. What are you going to do? Have 58 feet of insulation in an astronaut arm? So they created reflective insulation, and they found that if I could reflect away the heat coming from the sun and I could reflect the heat I create back into the craft, I create a constant 76-degree temperature. Well, they put that technology out to the private sector. It's now in the building industry, and every home in California built after 2011, it's mandatory. You have to have it. All Eagle Shield does is take that Title 24 building code technology and we retrofit homes that are built before then.
Simply amazing. I mean, it seems so obvious, but when you put it that way, Garrett, I can't believe when I look at my utility bill, I was literally floored, and that's been a frequent complaint from a lot of folks. Is that what you've seen?
Well, yes. So when you live in a Sacramento basin in this type of area that you have that extreme heat, what happens is people just don't realize that the culprit is above them. It's in the attic. Because it's out of sight, out of mind, people don't think that much about it, but the minute you put your head in the attic and you feel that 150-degree temperature, then you realize where the problem truly lies. So what happens is, once the radiant heat from the sun, and I actually say it jokingly, but it is true, radiant heat from the sun travels 93 million miles at the speed of light, and it takes 8 minutes to get here, traveling at 186,282 miles per second. So if the sun blew up right now, we would not know it for 8 minutes. So once it hits our atmosphere, then it comes 250 miles down to the roof of your house that you could physically walk on. It conducts through the roof, and it heats up your attic to 150 degrees. And people actually think they're going to stop that with 8 inches of insulation after it traveled 93 million miles. And they wonder why drapes fade and carpeting's fade, and people at 7, 8 o'clock at night are wondering, why am I hotter inside my home when it's cool outside? It's because you have a thermal mass load. You have that radiant heat that's heated up your roof deck. It's soaked into your attic. It's heated up the trusses. It's soaked into your sponge R-value insulation like a kitchen sponge. And
Are you serious? How the fuck is it not working?
Starts conducting into your
I
home.
hate the fucking Wi-Fi. It doesn't connect so well.
Rate, and you're cycling your air trying to fix the problem that is already invaded. So the simple technology, I go
said
back
out
to
of
the
range. It
thermos
was
bottle.
fucking
All
connected
a
a
thermos
second
does
ago.
is it keeps
Oh,
cool what you want cool, and it keeps
I
warm
hate
what
this
you want
damn
warm.
thing.
So once we put it into your attic, now you're 10 to 12 degrees cooler in the summer, and in the winter you're 8 to 12 degrees warmer in the winter.
I hate
Because
this
of that, you
fucking
run your
thing.
air and heater 70% less, and because of that, you save up to 44% off your bill, simply because you're now no longer thrown into your higher tier because you're comfortable a lot more.
If you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home, from your
Of
mobile
course,
phone,
the
dial
fucking Wi-Fi
pound
gets
250,
disconnected. I
that's
hate the
pound
tom-tom.
250,
Oh,
say Eagle Shield, and they'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration.
fuck.
Now, the first 20 callers will receive 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% financing for 18 months on your good credit. Again, pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. So Eagle Shield focuses primarily on saving people money off their utility bill, Garrett, making their homes more efficient, but it's still really more than just savings, correct?
Oh, yes, of course. I guess the best way to explain it is think of energy efficiency and comfort in your home as a three-legged stool. It's insulation first, that's a heavy lifter, then ventilation, then your airflow. So it's like a three-legged stool. If any one leg isn't functioning, you're just overloading the other two. So number one primary, the heavy lifter, is reflective insulation because that is fixing the problem at the source. My joke is the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the heat you don't want out of your home. Keep the winter heat you do want in. That's what the reflective insulation solves. But once we've done that, it is very, very important to get rid of the hot air that accumulates in your attic, and that's why
I
we
hate
highly
that
recommend
so
putting in
much.
a solar attic fan
I don't know
to
why.
improve your ventilation. The same
Yeah,
Hades
top to
hot
my
sun baking on your
connectivity
roof here in
issue.
Sacramento is the same sun baking on Half Moon Bay's roof. Well, why is Half Moon Bay's attic 80 degrees, but your attic's 150? You've chosen to live up here. So if you live on the coast, you don't need an attic fan, but up here it's so important to improve your ventilation. And then the final leg is your airflow, which is your air conditioning and heating ducts. And the problem with the average ducting is they leak a minimum of 28% just after 10 years of use. And most people know that if they dust their home and 3, 4, 5 days later there's a big buildup of dust again, that tends to be the ducts. So what we do is we come in with triple cushion vibration and we scrape clean every duct 3 separate times. Think taking cholesterol off your vein, getting rid of the junk. Then we purify your ducts using Envirocon. That's what hospitals use to sterilize the air, so you're breathing cleaner air. And then the most important thing we do is we wrap and seal the ducts with the reflective insulation blankets, turning your duct into a thermos. So now it's instant cold, instant hot. It's a vapor barrier. You're not trapping moisture. And number 3, most importantly, you don't get the rodent invadance into the duct run. And then the final process that we do is, if it's needed, is we suck out all the old insulation if you have a rodent problem or it's dirty and feces infested. And then we blow clean green insulation in for the soundproofing benefits, so the house is quieter. But then you have reflective insulation that turns your home into a thermos. You have an attic fan that improves your ventilation. Then you have your ducting, so that way you're breathing cleaner air. And then as a sidebar note, if you need to suck out the old insulation, we do that, sterilize the attic, and blow new back in.
Simply amazing, Garrett. We're talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant. His company, Eagle Shield, has been working with NASA technology for almost 30 years. Look, if you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home, from your mobile phone, dial pound 250. That's pound 250. Say Eagle Shield. They'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration, and the first 20 callers will receive 25% off all material and labor, plus 0% financing for 18 months OAC. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. That's pound 250. Say Eagle Shield. Now remember, if you happen to be put on hold for a brief time, hang in there. This is a very popular offer. They will get to you right away. Once again, pound 250, say Eagle Shield. The team is standing by.
So have you heard the latest from PG&E? They're proposing yet another rate hike for 2024. This time, another 22%. Tom Sullivan here for Eagle Shield Insulation Technology by NASA. If you're a PG&E customer, you need Eagle Shield. Homes with Eagle Shield remain up to 10 degrees warmer in the winter, 10 to 12 degrees cooler in the summer, all while running your furnace or AC 70% less. Not only is your home so much more comfortable, but you also save up to 44% on your heating and cooling costs immediately, day one. But you know what? After 3 years, their offer of 25% off all labor and material, along with the no-interest financing for 18 months, is coming to an end. So call now to lock in the savings before it's gone. Book your free demonstration now from your mobile phone. Dial pound 250 and when prompted, say the keywords Eagle Shield. Easy one-day installation. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield.
Welcome back to this special edition of At Home with KFBK. My special guest today is Garrett Harwood. He is the CEO of Eagle Shield. And Garrett, you've mentioned that you save people thousands. Tell me how Eagle Shield saves people money.
Well, if you look at typically the amount of money people are paying in a home to make their family cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. So you're dealing with kilowatt charge, which is electricity for summer, and you're dealing most of the time with therm charge in the winter. So if you are allowing the radiant heat to come into your home in the summer, and you're miserable at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, well, if you know, that's peak load rate where you're getting charged the most amount of kilowatt usage. By keeping 97% of that heat out, you're instantly 10 to 12 degrees cooler in the summer in your living space. You're now not cycling your air conditioner on for an hour, off for 5 minutes. Now it's on for 5, 10 minutes, and it's off for an hour. So now you're not getting kicked into your higher tier. You save up to 44% off your bill. Same thing applies in the winter. You're heating the home, hotter rises. That's why cats jump on the roofs. Now you're running your heater 70% less because you're warmer far more, and you're getting the health benefit of you're not drying out the air by cycling the heater in the air more than you should. So that's why you save literally thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime, because if your average bill is $400 and you save 44% of that, I mean, do the math. It literally is designed so that it pays for itself.
You know, and it's so true. It seems like when your system isn't working like it should, you don't have that great insulation in the attic. It seems like, as you mentioned, Garrett, instead of the unit running for 5 minutes and off for an hour, it's like it's off for 5 minutes and then it's back on. And 5 minutes later, it's back on again. I think a lot of folks can identify with that. So where do we go from here? How does a homeowner start, Garrett?
So the first thing we would recommend is give us a call at pound 250. Our team will come out. All our people are licensed and bonded. You'll love them. They're really good people, and we've been doing it for many, many years. They'll assess the attic, and they'll let you know exactly what condition your current insulation is in, and then we'll give you a no obligation free bid. Won't cost you anything for us to come out and take a look at it.
Well, that's simple enough. How long does an installation usually take, Garrett?
Typically, we start about 7 in the morning, and we're typically done between 11 and 5 in the afternoon. It's all predicated upon how easy it is to crawl through the attic, how easy it is to traverse your trusses and your knee walls, and making sure that we're walking properly over your stud bays and we're not creating an issue. So we're done in a day 99% of the time.
Well, with the success rate that you've had and the ease of installation, I guess that's why 60,000 plus installations and growing.
Yes, we're very thankful, and the product sells itself, and literally we are truly blessed to be able to provide comfort, health, and save people money at the same time. You know, besides the fact that our products are incredibly affordable, the installation usually takes on average 1 day, and the savings on the utility bill will be seen for a lifetime immediately. You know, our customers do rave about our white glove, no hassle installation process all the time. It's one of the things we're very proud of. So thank you again for having me.
Once again, we've been talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant. His company, Eagle Shield, has been working with NASA technology for almost 30 years. Now look, if you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home, from your mobile phone, dial pound 250, that's pound 250, say Eagle Shield, and they'll set up an absolutely free, no-obligation demonstration. Now, the first 20 callers will receive 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% financing for 18 months on your good
Can't
credit.
have a GPS,
Again,
doesn't have any
pound
maps
250,
installed.
say Eagle Shield. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. Now remember, if you happen to be put on hold for a brief time, hang in there. This is a very popular offer. They will get to you right away. Call right now. Their team is standing by. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Tom Sullivan here for Eagle Shield Insulation Technology by NASA. If you're a PG&E customer, you need Eagle Shield. Homes with Eagle Shield remain up to 10 degrees warmer in the winter, 10 to 12 degrees cooler in the summer, all while running your furnace or AC 70% less. You also save up to 44% on your heating and cooling costs immediately, day one. So call now to lock in the savings before it's gone. Book your free demonstration now. From your mobile phone, dial pound 250, and when prompted, say the keywords Eagle Shield. Easy one-day installation. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield.
KFBK Sacramento, KFBK FM, Paul and Fine.
For local news, breaking news, traffic, and weather, KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Sacker. Humanitarian officials with the United Nations went inside Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital for a one-hour visit Saturday, calling the situation inside desperate and a death zone for patients and staff. Thomas White, director of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency Affairs in Gaza, telling ABC's This Week.
From all accounts, the situation in Shifa sounds desperate, and there are still a large number of people in a critical situation in that hospital.
Michael Herzog, the Israeli ambassador to the U.S., pushing back on those claims, telling ABC's This Week.
There's no shootout. We're very careful. We have been in touch with the managerial staff of the hospital, with the manager. We allowed people who wanted to evacuate.
Gaza's health ministry says 31 very sick babies, 6 health workers at the Al-Shifa hospital, and 10 family members of staff were evacuated from the hospital today. A crucial section of the 10 freeway in downtown Los Angeles, damaged by a fire, will reopen in time for tomorrow morning's commute. That from California Governor Gavin Newsom this morning, also joined by Vice President Kamala Harris.
Tomorrow, the commute is back on, and happy Thanksgiving.
The governor said crews are 8 days ahead of schedule. After the Thanksgiving holiday, embattled New York Representative George Santos will face another resolution to expel him from the House. This after the Chamber's Ethics Committee released their shocking report on Santos. Ethics Committee member and fellow New York Republican Andrew Garbino.
Reading through the report, 55 pages, really speaks for itself, but some of the shocking things is just the boldness to spend money on Botox, campaign money on Botox, Hermes, OnlyFans page.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has formally endorsed former President Donald Trump for president in 2024, saying, quote, "We need a president who's going to secure the border." You're listening to ABC News.
From California's capital city, now trending on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
The I-10 will be opening just ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Have to wait till Thursday to give thanks. To give thanks for the opening before the Thanksgiving holiday of the I-10 freeway for folks who are working this week, folks who will be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, and to give thanks to all the workers who made this possible. We can't thank them enough.
U.S. Senator Alex Padilla confirmed that the repairs will be covered by federal funding provided by a bipartisan infrastructure bill. More than 250 people worked on this section of the freeway 24 hours a day after a fire last Saturday. In Long Beach, police say that an innocent bystander was shot on Saturday morning during an argument between two men. The victim was struck by a stray bullet when one of the men in the argument tried to run away. He's expected to fully recover. That's it with the latest news. I'm Ryan Baker.
Now, Sacramento traffic.
Taking a look at KFBK traffic, we start things off on westbound Cap City Freeway at El Camino Avenue. A major crash is blocking the left lane out there. CHP crews are at the scene. You're going to start seeing the slowdown from Marconi Avenue, and you're sluggish out past the crash site. Over to the Watt Avenue off-ramp from eastbound Cap City Freeway. A solo spinout is reported on the shoulder. CHP crews are headed there. Taking a look at westbound 50, your drive there, your stop and go between the 50 and 99 split and 15th Street.